Hey guys, it's Booligan Airsoft Retreat, BooliganAirsoft.com and Airsoft Insider Magazine. Today we are on the bench and taking a look at the gearbox from the Elite MMC from Lancer Tactical, their new AR platform. This uses a Lonex sourced gearbox, and yeah, let's open it up, take a look. Before we do that, let's look at some of the external features. This whole assembly right here is for the functional bolt catch. Normally there's a little lever that goes in that attaches to the receiver. You have a ventilated cylinder that is ribbed. Nice little air nozzle here. And at the top, normally there would be a bolt attached to this, but I've removed it as part of the disassembly. This little shuttle right here is what gives you your blowback, and we will take a look inside and see how easy it will be to disable that blowback if so desired. You've got some nice bearings here. They look to be about 8 millimeters. Metal selector plate. Everything moves pretty smoothly. Nice little window here that you can use to decompress the spring, which is always a welcome feature. And spring is decompressed. And let's go ahead and open her up. Here's all the screws. This has a nice little access hole to undo that. Everything roughly loosed up. You'll see I left the receiver still here. The wiring is still through here because that funky buffer tube design where the wiring runs through. I'm just going to leave it there because it's easier than trying to figure out a way to take that wiring off. A little bit of a pain in the butt that they did it that way, but alas, what are we going to do? An interesting design. It's different than VFC's locking bolt catch, which everyone seems to copy these days. That looks like it all kind of comes out in one piece. That's handy if that's the case. You don't have to mess around with that little spring. So, yeah, it looks like that's all one piece. Except for I borked it up. There we go. Leave that there, lest it explode in our face. Don't forget that all-important washer. We'll see if I forget to reinstall that, as is the tradition of my people. It looks like these flat ones, the flat portions have little washers in place. Alright, all the screws are out. Hold that in. Do this without everything exploding everywhere. There's no window to hold the spring guide in, so it's a little sketchy. So it's taking everything with it. Hey, look at that. Did it without maiming or otherwise crippling myself. Very small amount of grease, but looks like it's in the right places. Spring guide is proprietary. Looks like it just locks in place, and then it's actually not screwed. There's no screw there. The buffer tube is mounted to the body in a different method. Non-captive spring. Let's take a look at piston. Ventilated, like a polycarb head. Body looks good. You've got a steel, check it. Yeah. Steel half rack. Or full rack, but it's half cut. That's interesting. Half tooth, like they were helical cuts. Oh, this grease is going to get everywhere. Let's check the air seal really quick. Yeah, I'm gonna say that air seal is definitely satisfactory. That is, holy cow. That's a crazy good air seal. Good job. Alright, here's your blowback shuttle. If you want to get rid of blowback, all you're going to have to do is this little nub right here, grind that off, chop that off. How this blowback system works is, you see, try to get my hands out of the way, it travels like that, so when it goes back, the piston will grab it and pull it back. So that can cause excess wear and tear, especially if that gets jammed up. So if you want to get rid of it, just chop that little nub off, you're in business. The gears all appear to be steel or otherwise some other ferrous metal. All the components just look to be quite good. Gearbox in this thing is pretty stellar from what I'm seeing so far. I think it's really wedged in there. It's sealed in there so well that really doesn't want to come off. But yeah, the air seal in this thing appears to be, if you push it in slow, get some air leaks up. Man, that air. It's about as perfect of an air seal as you can get on an AEG. Looks like the air nozzle does have an O-ring equipped. And most of the parts look to be pretty standard version 2. Nothing too crazy or proprietary. It looks like the only majorly proprietary part is going to be that spring guide, but this thing's freaking rock solid. You're not going to break that anytime soon. So yeah, it looks, internals in this thing look to be really good. Let's see. I don't know how well this will show up on camera. Let's take a look at the LE. Oh, that is just about perfect. Looks like it gets 3 full teeth of engagement before it grabs the first steel tooth on the rack. And that should be just fine. No need to sorbo pad this or modify it. 3 whole teeth. That is really stripped out teeth there. I mean, the teeth aren't stripped. Let's roll that back. The teeth are fantastic shape. They're in perfect shape. But they really chop those things down. Alright, so internals look good. You may recall the previous video we looked at the externals. For a relatively budget-oriented gun, this thing appears to have pretty damn good internal components. The electrical all looks good. It's a bit of a pain in the butt trying to disassemble it because you've got to deal with that, the wiring coming out the back there. Just a standard trigger system, nothing crazy there. Looks like there's no funky reinforcements, so MOSFET installations, especially something like the G&G ETU or one of the BTC Chimeras or something like that, those should all fit pretty well in there. You've got a sector chip already for good feeding. All of the, leaving beard hairs in there for the next guy, let's not do that. Might have to wear a hairnet from now on. But yeah, looks, internals look pretty damn good in this thing. I am very impressed with what they put together. Yeah, good job Lonex, and good job by extension obviously Lancer Tactical for going with them. Be sure to check out the full video of the rest of the gun, which I uploaded a few weeks ago. Yeah, now you've seen the guts. So, thanks for watching. One last thing. In the initial review I mentioned that my hop-up had a slight issue. It was not responsive at all. See, it's a dial type hop-up and it activates this little lever right here. Well, mine was backed out slightly. Just about that much. Barely perceptible, and it would just spin and spin and spin and spin. So if yours does have that problem, what you're going to need to do is remove it from the gun, realign it, push that down so that it falls in a little track, and you should be good to go. So the clearest thing showing that you're having this problem is that the dial will just spin and spin and spin and spin. Otherwise, it has clearly defined lock points at either end. So easy fix if yours has that problem.